Hello, welcome back to the channel. So today's video is about buying the monkey cycle. Now, I've searched eBay high and low and I've looked at lots of different ones, and I've looked at buying a van and I've looked at classics and everything else. But there's been one particular van I've been keeping my eye on for the last few days, and the thing is, the pictures aren't really the best. The description keeps getting added to in small chunks and it hasn't got a lot of bids. So potentially there's a bargain, and not just that, this is that much of a classic that in another 2 and a bit years, it's going to be MOT and tax exempt. And then in the UK, we have to take our vehicle every single year for an MOT, and we have to pay road tax. Well, this is that old, it's about to be exempt from them. So this is going to be interesting. Now, you've got to bear in mind, I have absolutely no experience or skill set in restoring, building, or doing anything to do with campers. I have had a little bit of the classic car side when I had an MGB Roadster once that I bought that was a rust bucket and kind of transformed into basically a beautiful machine and drove it all the way to Italy and back. So I'm lucky in some senses, but other senses I'm not. But anyway, this video is about buying the van. So stay tuned, cue the intro. Okay, so sip the wine, start looking for the camper. Let's find the one that I want the most. Not long to wait. Always, never sip wine while bidding, ever. Definitely not. Right. Okay. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. And yes! Yes! Campervan has just been bought. Oh, yes. Hang on. What have I bought? Oof. This could be interesting. So yes, we've bought a van. So it's been a couple of days, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to catch you up and I'm just going to tell you exactly what happened after I bought the van. So what I did was I jumped onto a site called Shipley, and it's one of these sites you put in the information of what you want transporting or shipping, and then different people will put in quotes and they'll have different ratings and insurances and stuff like this, and they pretty much anything you want you can get a quote for to be shipped. So what I did was I whacked it in there and I waited for the bids to come in. And while the bids were coming in, I did the all important thing of contacting the seller to explain what I was doing. And obviously COVID-19 is here. I don't personally want to have to travel, and this was up near London way. I don't want to personally travel all the way up near to London to pick up the van and bring it back, because I'd rather stay safe. So I said to him, is it okay with you if I pay you by bank transfer and I get a transporter to come and collect it? And he was fine. He seemed like, I don't exactly know his age, but he seemed like a really nice old boy that was just selling his camper. And we had a little bit of a chat, not very much, and he was all happy. He said, just let me know when you've sorted out your transporter. So by the very next day, basically, I had people offering to collect it that day, collect it the next day, all sorts of money. And I kicked, as you always do, I did the bargaining thing of going, well, I only want to pay around £200 to ship this camper van all the way to where I am. And that basically turned around and said as well that I'm going to obviously give it to who's got the best feedback at the lowest price. And then quite quickly, one guy was really, really on the ball, and he was contacting me saying, okay, this is what I can do it for. And he did it for £236. So all in all, that's not really a bad price. And he was going to do it the very next day as well. So that worked out being really good. So all in all, for the camper and to get it delivered was just under, believe it or not, £2,100. So we've managed to achieve the Monkey Cycle camper for under £2,100. Now, don't get me wrong in this whatsoever at all. I've gone and bought myself an old girl, and it is an old girl. What I've bought myself is a Renault Traffic 1983. So it's only like less than 3 years. It's about 2.5 years away from being 40 years old, where it becomes MOT and tax exempt. So that's quite a big kind of deal. So hopefully it's going to turn up in okay condition. Hopefully it's going to run, and hopefully it's going to be okay. So we're going to jump to when it arrives. So you see what I've seen when it turns up and what it's actually like. So are you ready for this? Here we go. So here we are in the future Monkey Cycle camper. Now this is, I'm going to give you a bit of a tour in a second, but this is the base model. This is proper vintage. This is a Renault Traffic 1983 camper van, and nothing's really changed. The one thing I have done is literally, as soon as I've got it, I have literally just whipped out the old gas fridge, because one, it's not tested, and two, it's nearly 40 years old, so that's going. So I'm obviously putting a fridge or a camp fridge in there, but other than that, this still is completely an original camper, and everything as far as I can see actually works. So remember, this is a massive base, and there's got to be a lot of work that needs to be done, and I'm hopefully going to transform this into kind of monkey style, surf style van to give it that kind of funky sort of jazzy feel. But do you know what, buying this completely blind off of eBay, not seeing it, bidding on it, then talking to the guy, and then obviously gambling on the point of paying a deposit on a transporter to bring it down to me, and it all arriving and all going exactly according to plan is fantastic. Now the guy's been dead honest. This is obviously an old van, it's not new, it's had some welding and things done in the past, but at the end of the day, it's got a good solid engine. There's the odd drip down from it, what I've noticed with it being parked since moving it onto the driveway, but I've had that in every single old sort of classic vehicle I've driven. You know, it's just a seal somewhere, and I'm sure I'll get around to finding it, but if not, it's just a drip. So the thing of it is, it's really good. The engine fires straight up on full choke. I've had no issues with that at all, and literally after a few seconds I'll whack the choke off and it's been running nice and smooth. So it's a very lucky buy so far. I'm really impressed. Anyway, I'm going to give you a tour, but what I'm going to start with, one of the beauties of this is obviously it's just a normal size van, and the roof pops up to give you that sort of extra standing space. So I'm going to go for a quick run round of the van, because obviously I'll save the rest for a more detailed video as I'm doing it up. But let's just go through how basic but how cool this van is, and the potential is huge. And I think again I'll save that for another video, but let's just say I really want to kind of give the modern look inside this van, but also keep it a definitely kind of surfy retro kind of camper van. But anyway, let me show you the roof first. Okay, so I'm going to do it one-handed to show you how the roof works, but there's a little clip here, okay? You just unclip this off of the hook there, and then there's another locking mechanism just here. You pull this down, and all you literally do with one hand is push up. It goes up there like so, and then you grab one of these. This is where I'm going to need probably both hands to do it, so bear with me. So you push that up like that. They've got a little locking mechanism up here. This goes into place there. Over at the back here, this goes into place as well. This is the fiddly one. So that's in there. Same on this side. Literally, all you do, push it up into place, clip it in, clip it in over here, ba-boom. That is the roof up. How funky is that? So what we've also got is, so this is quite cool as well, and they do work and the stereo system works. We've got speakers, and obviously they're down, and there's only two in the whole van, but these are down, obviously they go up with the roof. But I don't know why I love the old-fashioned speakers so much, and maybe some sort of graphics on here or something would look really cool to make them come a little bit more alive. Then underneath here, we've got our cooker. What's a cracking little thing as well. Slide these up. Bada boom, bada bing. That's quite cool. Two hobs. Get yourself a little bit of toast on there, or a bit of bacon, happy days. And then over this side, pop this up. Push this latch down. You can tell I'm a professional at doing this. Hang on, where does that latch go? Like that. Push that latch down like that. Put this back in place, because I'm doing it all one-handed. And underneath here we've got water, and this tap actually switches on and switches off. And over here there's a control panel, and you put this on and it runs the water through. It's got a tank in. I don't know how big the tank is itself, but hey, you've got running water, you've got a sink, and it goes down to a pipe underneath where you can put a collection sort of container to catch the water. But it's really funky. You've got so many cool stuff. You've got under here, look, that's stiff. Let's go from this side and let's do it this way. That's it. And then underneath here you've got storage to put in your helmet head mugs, and then your helmet head plates, and you've got your helmet head bowls going there. It's quite cool. And obviously then you can put your plates and stuff in here, so that's like your cutlery area. Well, underneath here, this is your drawer. Put your knives and forks and stuff in, and under here's your water pump, and you can put some saucepans and stuff under there as well when you're transporting. And then in here, what's quite cool, with all little latches to hold it in place, you've got your table. So this comes out here with this bar, and it bar clips into here, table goes on top, and you've got your dining room area just there. Then I've got obviously cables, storage area. I'm able to then hang up my obviously helmet head t-shirts on its rack there, put my towels and stuff on there. Helmet head t-shirts, obviously there's so many colours, so I could have red there, I could have blue there, I could have grey there, or I could wear my helmet head pants, whatever way I want to put that in just there. So that's quite cool. Then over here is where the gas fridge used to be. So the old vintage gas fridge that just looked minging. That's ripped out. That area is going to be clean. This is what I've got at the moment. I'm not sure if I'm going to keep it or not, but I'm going to put in, this is going to be hooked up to the 12 volt. This cable here, when switched on by switch, an engine is running, it produces 12 volts. So that could run that while we're running, or like I said, a proper fridge. That could sort of run that while we're running. So I've got electric for food and stuff. And here is just another storage compartment as well. The beds are really cool, so they basically fold down. These cushions come up, cushions go down here. That makes a single bed, and does the same on the other side. There is supposed to be, what doesn't come with the camper, a board that goes here, and basically you can make it into a big bed. So it's something I'm probably going to have to try and sort out myself if I decide to do so. So then if I go away with the wife, we've got ourselves a nice long double bed just there. Everything works, like I said though, electric works. everything works, so it's really impressive. Obviously this is all going to be reupholstered, all the wood's going to be painted, the style of the whole van is going to change. But retro as retro gets. I mean, check this out. Check it out. We've got ourselves a four gear gearbox with a reverse. We've got a choke. I've not had a choke since I had the old classic MGB. Fans work, heaters work, that's that. Obviously that's a modern stereo system, but it's pointless really in here. So yeah, all really old fashioned, no power steering, none of that. The guy's provided a solar panel that is connected to the battery that's there all the time, and he says it does work, it keeps the battery topped up, so that's quite nice. But yeah, so far so cool. Okay, so we've got far, haven't we? We've got a camper, and we've got a classic camper. It's going to be nearly 40 years old, and it's in pretty good shape. I'm pretty impressed with it. So now we need to make this into the coolest little monkey cycle camper possible. I've got to try and figure out how I'm going to get the monkey cycle in. We've got a little bit of a step just there. I have done a quick measurement. It will go in just over the step, so I'm going to have to look at building some kind of little ramp to go up that step, and a way of securing it without, cause it's all wood you see, so I'm going to have to put some mounting, some anchor points down that are going to be able to be strong enough just to hold the bike. It's not heavy, it doesn't need loads of force to hold it down, but just to keep it nice and sturdy. I've already got an idea for that, but I've got to implement it, get the bike in, etc. But when I've measured it, it does say it will fit, but we'll find out and we'll do a test run of getting that in. So that would be quite funny. It's the first ever time I've done that. So we've got to do an anchor system, we've got to make this into the monkey cycle, we've got to make it cool. And I reckon we can do all of this in a decent amount of time as well. And then hopefully we'll get our first monkey cycle van and monkey cycle on its first adventure and see how it actually does on the road, because so far, other than driving down the road to the petrol station, this hasn't been anywhere. So we're gonna have to find out how good it is, how reliable it is in the next coming adventure. But anyway, for now, there's going to be a little spin-off series of doing up this van and making it into the monkey cycle with a mixture of the usual videos. But anyway, you've seen our base. This is going to be a fun journey. You guys are coming along with me, so it's all good times. As always, if you haven't subscribed, please consider subscribing. Give us a thumbs up if you've enjoyed this little video, little tour, little chat, and I will see you in the next video. Remember, as always, there's a Patreon link if you want to become a sponsor and join some of the really cool people that have. And if you want to sponsor me enough, you'll get yourself a shout out on the channel on a regular basis. Also, don't forget there's t-shirts and stuff available in the store with a link in the description below as well. But until next time, let's just have some fun, chill out, stay safe, and remember, ride a motorcycle and be happy. Take care. Bye bye.